Please help me welcome the Governor of Illinois, Pat Quinn.
I want to thank everybody for coming today. It's a very, very impressive turnout. I really appreciate the invitation. But today I thought I'd talk a little bit about some of the initiatives that we have specifically for the Southland, for the South Suburbs, for Will County. Grundy County's not too far away. We really believe in this area. I do. Illinois has always been strong in transportation. This summer, we will be building more on our roads than at any other time in the history of Illinois. We've made a significant investment in roads and bridges here and everywhere. We're going to be dealing with, right now, this summer, a very important challenge for the Southland. We're one of the there's only two places in the United States where two interstates intersect and they don't connect to each other. And we have this anomaly at I-57 and I-294 where they come together and you can't easily access them back and forth. Well, we want to do something about that. We are. We're investing hundreds of millions of dollars. I think ultimately it'll be about $700 million to connect those two roadways. And I think that's a gateway to economic development here. Now that's happening now. We are in feverish activity. We want to build the Ileana Expressway. I was here out in Lansing not too long ago, very important. Ileana is very important to Illinois. We want to connect I-65 in Indiana to I-57 in Illinois and then on to I-55 in our state. This is very, very important because we want to be the inland port of America. Right now, we're one of the very strongest areas of intermodal in the whole world. Intermodal is where trains come together with trucks and you distribute goods all over a whole area, a whole region. In our case, it's the heartland of our country, where we began this intermodal down in Joliet not too long ago, and it's already outgrowing itself. It's so big. We also are planning intermodal in Crete, as well as Markham and Harvey with the railroads, whether it's BNSF or the Canadian National or the Union Pacific. A lot of the railroads see this as the way to go. We've worked with CenterPoint on public-private partnerships. We want to continue to do that and probably apply some of the concepts of public-private partnership to accelerate the Ileana, because this is another way to keep growing good jobs built on transportation for our state and for this region. We also understand the importance of public transit, mass transit. We live in an era, unfortunately, of $4 a gallon gasoline. Over the weekend, I signed a couple bills to accelerate our electric vehicle initiatives in Illinois. We want to have more electric vehicles, but at the same time, we understand that public transit is always important, and I really believe in the Southeast Metro line. This is an area of our state, the suburbs there, that need more access on public transportation. I want to thank Mayor DeGraff for helping organize all the mayors here. It really came together. We worked together. We put together a bill. I signed the bill to really put a district together that can try and make this happen. I also believe in high-speed rail. We're the first state in the union to actually break ground on high-speed rail. We're building Chicago to St. Louis. I saw Larry Walsh here from Will County, and we're going right through Joliet. We're going to be building a kind of an enhancement to the train station there. We want to have a fast train from Chicago to St. Louis so Cub fans can get down to Busch Stadium quicker. And there's no promise of a better result than they have right now, but at least they'll get there faster and get home faster. And I'm a White Sox fan, as you may know, and they're not doing much better. So that southeast line would actually, I think, go by 35th Street, that public transit line. But we should not in any way diminish high-speed rail. High-speed rail is the wave of the future in our country and definitely in our region. We've always been strong in rail, and we understand passenger rail, we understand freight rail, but high-speed rail is something new. We're interested in Chicago to St. Louis. That ground's been broken. We're making significant progress. spending hundreds of millions of dollars this summer on that from our capital bill that was just upheld by the Supreme Court this morning. But we also are interested in another high-speed rail opportunity. We'd like to connect O'Hare to McCormick Place, all the way to Governor State, then on to Peatone, on to Kankakee, on to Champaign. This would be super high-speed rail at 220 miles an hour. And then in Champaign, we'd like to see two branches, one to St. Louis, the other one to Indianapolis. We want to be visionaries here. There's a passage in Scripture that says, where there is no vision, the people perish. And we're not planning to perish anytime soon, I guarantee you that. So we really have to have big plans. And super high-speed rail from all the way downtown Chicago, all the way through the south suburbs, and all the way to Peatone. And I do want to speak about the airport. I'm a fervent believer in the airport. I believe we need to have it. This is a great opportunity. The fastest growing part of our state, and indeed our country, are places like Will County, the south suburbs, with all this intermodal, with all this inland port district, with the Ileana, and with all these other transportation initiatives. It's planes, trains, and airports that are second to none. We want to make sure we connect all of our transportation modes together. So we are forging ahead. We got to obviously have some work to do on the airport, but I'm very optimistic we can get that done and done soon, because this is something we've got to do for our country and definitely for our state. The number one challenge that we have in America today is economic growth and jobs. Far more important than any other issue. That's what I felt from day one, that if we can grow our economy, we can address our budget issues, we can deal with the deficit issues, but the best way to help the most people is a job, and that's the best way to keep families together. Best way to fight poverty, best way to fight crime is economic growth and jobs. And last year, our state, Illinois, not Indiana, not Wisconsin, here in the Midwest, the number one state by far at growing jobs, more jobs than anybody, was Illinois. And I think if we work together, this area of our state, I have tremendous optimism for, that we have so many ingredients for doing something really special. And I look forward to working with everybody here on that mission, and together we can make the will of the people the law of the land. Thank you very much. We received some federal money. It's from the feds. It's $6.6 million in funding that we received. We're going to be investing that in the south suburbs in 6 different communities with respect to helping those communities either purchase or rehab or demolish vacant or abandoned homes, and to upgrade the water and sewer lines and roads in the vicinity of these housing projects. We got this particular infrastructure money from the federal government. We want to pump it back into the local economy. So that's one thing we're doing. But now the 2 pieces of legislation, one is designed to, Toy and Al sponsored, that will help local communities in this area, the Southland, get appropriate funding for economic development. The other bill that Al Riley sponsored with Maggie Crotty extends the deadline for the city of Markham to complete a redevelopment program in the TIF district that they have, and all of the legislators with us. And I want to say, you really are blessed by having legislators who are so conscientious and so diligent. When I look behind me, each of these men and women always are active, enthusiastic, energetic for their whole region. And I really want to thank you for that. We have a good team, and we understand we have major challenges. So without further ado, I'm going to sign these bills.